Hi guys. All right, I was about to start doing an art journal page, and I realized I don't think I've done a flip through of this journal since I made it. I mean, I think maybe I flipped through a few times on camera, and you've seen pages, but I've not done like sat down and made an effort to do a flip through. So I thought I would do that, and you can see where I'm at. I have been randomly flipping through this and working on just like random pages in an effort to keep it from getting like the spine getting all weird, but it's kind of getting weird anyway. This thing has taken a beating. I don't even know what to say. When I buy journals that are pre-made, they they seem to like not even get a mark on them half the time. I've had a few that got beat up, but this thing just has everything that could happen to it has happened to it. The tape that I used, which is an official, um, uh, yeah, gaffer's tape, doesn't even stick for crap. The paint that I painted is just, it like flakes off, it gets wet or whatever. The cats, for some reason, decided to use it as a scratching pad, so they ripped up all of the bubble wrap. I had to take the bubble wrap off the back completely because they ripped it up so bad. So I'm probably going to end up taking the whole cover off and recovering it and making it look a little bit nicer. But anyway, so here we go. All right, so I actually started this. Darn, I don't have a date. Isn't that fun? I'd have to go back and look now when I started it, but I started it obviously before Bernie Sanders dropped out, and just when the pandemic was starting, so early 2020. This is just a list of Minecraft locations. I don't actually play anymore, but I've kind of held on to it. When I broke my arm, and I broke this wrist, it basically, you have to use keys, and you sometimes have to like have your pinky here and be using these keys. And when I try to make that particular motion, it hurts my wrist after only like maybe 5 or 10 minutes. It hurts it so bad that I just can't play. It's just, I can't. Maybe I could, like work up towards it or something, but frankly, a lot of the fun has gone out of the game for me for reasons. So yeah, I don't think I'll ever probably play Minecraft again. But I'll just keep it here just to remember. This was when I found the, it's gonna be a lot of uhs today, sorry. This is when I found the television show called Money Heist. Freaking love that. Love everything about that show. And Bella Ciao basically means just like goodbye. I think it sometimes is it used like goodbye love, or hello death, I forget. Anyway, it's the main song that they use in the show. Also, too, this whole toxic feminism is from when Elizabeth Warren falsely accused Bernie Sanders of sexism. That is really, if I looked back at any defining moment politically for me in my entire life, and I'm 51, so I've had a good 30 years of being involved in politics and voting and caring about politics in general. And what she did to Bernie, that just completely radicalized me. I am no longer a Democrat. I was a Democrat for 30 years, and I voted just like party line. I was hardcore. And no, I'm done. So I'm actually a registered independent now. I would say that I am very much a socialist, if not even bordering on communist, because I think what we do in our country, specifically in the U.S., but it's on a worldwide scale. All we do is like little rats on one of those little circles, or little hamsters on a circle. All we do is just kill ourselves, kill each other, kill the planet, make people suffer, kill people, make people suffer, kill people, that's just, that's all we do. So I'm done with that. Capitalism needs to go. It's wrong. And frankly, I should be able to teach art and have a livable wage, and not have to charge people, and not have to put everything behind a paywall in order to keep what I do fresh enough that you'll actually want to go see it, because 7 other teachers aren't copying it and putting it in their classes that they're charging a bunch of money for. So I just think like it needs to stop. But anyway, so politics aside, this is the inner cover. I used a piece of scrapbook paper to connect the cover to the block of file folders that I sewed together. I do really love this. I love the edge. I think it's going to be even more fun when all the pages are done. And I did, in a lot of cases, try to leave the tabs so that I can actually come in and write interesting things on them when it's done. I'm not going to do it now. So this was about a couple of things. Number one, it was about politics and what Elizabeth Warren and Me Too and other women did to create that sort of toxic feminism. And then this was in direct response to someone who was online saying, I hate yellow. It's like the worst color ever, and stuff like that. So used to, I would probably have journaled, my thoughts about that or something like that. But I've learned over the years that anything I journal gets read and then talked about. So instead of journaling, I just make art. I do some journaling in here, but it's real limited now. You can use my art against me, but it's kind of hard because art is subjective, whereas words tend to be taken entirely out of context and used against you. It's just funny how that works. It just seems ridiculous to me. Anyway, so I forget what the Vile Maxim is from. It was probably a book or a movie. More than likely it was a book, because I really don't watch much visual entertainment such as movies and television. And I don't listen to podcasts. I literally mostly just listen to music and books. That's my entertainment. And I'm fine with that because it leaves your hands free. You can either make art, or you can crochet, or you can garden. You can do any of the things I love to do hands free, because music and audiobooks don't require anything but your imagination and your ears. Okay, so that was where this came from. It's just a ride, and it's been long enough that I don't remember a lot of these and what they stood for, but it's fine. For me, I don't need to necessarily remember it for a long time. Mostly when I create, I'm trying to get out of myself something that's on my mind, but not necessarily saving it for posterity. And I'll go into saving things for posterity in another video, probably soon, because it ties into something I'm going to be doing. Okay, take back the means. I'm sure you know what that means. So originally this page started with just a little cutout of someone's painting. I don't even remember. It wasn't even all that big, and it was just I think it was just the railroad tracks. I don't think any of this was back there. I think I added this in. I could be wrong. I don't remember. I did some of this on a video or a live stream. And so then I just painted in the sky and the ground. And then recently, and I had randomly written "Take Back the Means" from, I was watching a more socialist type of YouTube video. And then recently I was thinking about everything being on fire, like half the country, it seems like. So I added a fire as if to like say, if we want to make that stop, we've got to do this. Otherwise, our politicians are just going to keep letting us burn and die, and lose everything we own, and all that stuff. Again, it just all keeps coming back to that sort of radicalization that I kind of was forced through because of how corrupt politics and elections are in the United States. So this one was my sadness over Bernie dropping the way he did. I felt like as much good as he's done for all of us, his letting them, and who knows, I'm assuming they threatened his life or the life of his family. But whatever the reason is that they forced him to drop the way he did, or, maybe he really was never really a candidate and he was just supposed to kind of pull the left together and then force us to vote for the Democrats. I really don't know. I've heard so many theories about it. But anyway, I basically was like, he's too nice. Like, you can't have a revolution with a nice guy as your catalyst. It's just, not going to happen. So anyway, so that's where that came from. And then this, I actually haven't finished. That's another new thing with this journal, more so than I think ever before. I have a lot of pages where I started, and then I've had so much terrible personal upheaval that a lot of times I lose interest and just walk away. But I am who I am, so I will be back to finish it. I am certain. Did I push the thing up somehow? Who knows? So I will, I'll do something with it. I'll be done with it. And then this is just a list of all the different types of plants that you can have in a garden that will make mosquitoes want to not be in your garden. So I have very few of these. Right now, the one thing I have growing that's doing really well out of this whole list really is, and actually it's, lemon balm is the only thing. None of the rest of these, either I didn't have, and basil, I have basil too. Either I didn't have it, couldn't get it to grow, was the wrong time of year, you know what I'm saying? So like a lot of different stuff. But I do also have sage growing. I take that back. No, I have two types of basil. I don't have sage. And I do have catnip, but I have yet to get it to grow properly. So I'm still working on that. Yeah. This was something that I did. I often see things, shapes, images when I look at very abstract stuff. So in this case, I was literally looking at sand that was on a concrete pad, and I was just sitting there kind of vaguely staring at it. I was upset about stuff and thinking about other things, and I kept seeing, like, first off, all these little bunnies, this dog who's wearing a bunny mask, this bunny here who's like really awesome and scary, and I just loved it. And there is a song that's like my favorite song in the world, and a line out of that song is we could fight a war for peace. And that's what I feel like we're doing in this country. Like, I feel like we're fighting a war with each other, and yet every single one of us just wants peace. That's all we want. We just want a little peace in our lives. And yet instead, the powers that be are causing us to all fight with each other. Okay, so this was also that same list as far as plants I'd like to grow because mosquitoes don't like to hang around them, but then also the types of fruit trees I would like, or fruits that you can grow, that I would like to have. And then I need some mud boots because I go out there sometimes and I mostly just wear flip-flops, and I'm tired. I need some mud boots so my feet don't get so dirty and wet. This was just kind of a random page. I was slowly putting it together. Bad things were really starting to ramp up in my life, so I was really super sad. I won't go into explanations on Maddie's drawings, but this is one of Maddie's drawings. She was sitting with me. Or no, actually, this one, I was babysitting her. She came in and said, Nene, I need an art journal. And I said, okay, baby. And I grabbed up my pen case and my journal and gave it to her, and she took it off into her room and she made some pages in here. So this is one of those pages. This is kind of what I just recently talked about. I'm really getting into is just really getting more abstract with it and not needing it to look pretty and be a finished page. So in so much as trying to let go and be more free. This is definitely the direction I want all of my art to kind of push into. More and more. And I think I've been building up to this without realizing it for quite some time. When I look at the most recent paintings that I have painted, they feel like this. So I kind of, at first I was like, this is just a whole new thing. But I was sitting here the other night and I was looking around at the paintings that I have hanging up in here, and I was like, it's not that this is all that new, but it's new to my art journal as compared to, it's very much like the paintings that I paint now anyway. And so, like I said, there is still some journaling in here, but as you can tell, I've used a dark pen over a dark paint. Any journaling I do is not meant for other people to read, and when I say that specifically, what I'm getting at is I don't want family or people to read it. I'm not doing it for other people's consumption, only for myself. This page is still a work in progress. I don't know where I'm going with it yet. I just know it's not done. This was just recently. This was done for a while. This was new, and I'm just kind of starting to sort of figure out what's happening with this page. Our first blank page, I guess. These were two I've done recently. I think I posted at least this one on Instagram. Not sure if I posted this one anywhere. Okay, so this is another me and Maddie page. On this day, I was working in my journal, and Maddie came up and wanted to work as well. So I said, here you go. And so this is what she did. And she had been looking through a different one of my journals and had seen me draw a cat. And she had said, can I draw a kitty? Because she just got a brand new cat and a kitten, and it was her cat, and she named it, and she would be responsible for her cat. And so what I am interpreting this is this is her view of herself. And it does look a little bit like Maddie, so I completely get it. And it definitely fits in with her very girly she's definitely a girly girl. She likes frilly things. She likes to be pretty, and to wear pretty things. So I think this is her kitty cat, which her name is Ellie. I think this is Ellie dreaming about her new mommy. Do you know what I mean? Because they adopted her. I think that's what that is. But again, it's Maddie's page. She did it. I don't want to overly interpret it, but I do love it. And I especially love that she tried to draw a kitty cat. Awesome, Maddie. And then this page really kind of, like it says everything. Black Lives Matter. Flip the switch. Figure it out. Turn your brain on. Stop being an idiot. Yeah. Okay, so quite a few blank pages sometimes. I really have been trying to work into those. This is the most recent page I did. I just did a video. It was private for Patreon and YouTube, and then I did a speed version. Oh boy, the terrible video editor that comes free on Windows. That's what I use to make the speed video. It's pretty bad. Oh well, it is what it is. I'm an artist, not necessarily a video editor. Don't care, don't want to be a video editor. That's not what I want to do. Might make more money if I was better at it, but I'm an artist. That's what I want to do. I really love this page though, because these colors are like so comfortable for me. Like I love these colors. Cameras don't like it so much, but I do. This one was one of the first things I did in this. This was someone else's painting. It was a church steeple. It pretty much is what I used to influence the whole rest of the page. And of course I did a couple getting married. And for those of you who don't know, I am going through a divorce. So to me, it's very symbolic. This was literally someone else's art, and I just loved it. I loved the feeling that I felt when I looked at it. It's really awesome, and so I just glued it down and, you know, finished it out or made it a bigger painting, whatever you want to call it, and I added a few of my own flowers. I was going to come back and do more, and I got busy and distracted, and life tried to kill me, so I stopped, but I don't know if I'll finish more on it or not. Another blank page. This one, I'm pretty sure I did most, if not all of this on camera at one point. I love this page. I love so many different things about it. Yeah, I really like it. This one I definitely did off camera. I took someone else's art and cut it out, and there was a little crab, but it was really tiny and you really couldn't see it. So instead of because I was going to just glue the whole thing down, but instead I just cut her out, and then I just looked at the little crab and kind of tried to do my own rendition of it, and, you know, making it larger so that it would fit better. And then I had just painted that right over top of the gold paint with the same color as the background. So it actually looks like, you know, like maybe it was a mask, but it wasn't. I just did it by hand, and then I just added this weird sun. I don't know why. It felt right to me, so that's what I did. Notes about phone numbers for mental health crisis. Is this thing creeping, or is it me? I think it's the book. I don't know. This one is, I think, you know, pretty clear. I was talking about mental illness. Someone else's art, I cut it out. I used the excess piece that I cut off, that, you know, I cut off from here, and I literally just took the excess piece, moved it over, and then stenciled that on, and I did it before I glued this in, if you want to know how that technique works. Super easy. Someone else's art, I cut it out, I really loved it, and then for whatever reason I flipped it over and glued it down, so you don't actually see the piece that that I initially cut out. You just see the reverse of it. This is a list of some books that someone put, I think, on Twitter that I want to read. And then here was just a little thought that popped into my head. I honestly wonder if any of us will still be here by January 2021. And my usual bunny in the sky. Yeah. I love this one, and she just came together because I don't know how much of this I did. I think I did all of this, and then what you see is kind of background. I did all of this in a video, and I hated this page. It was so awful. I mean, it wasn't awful. It just didn't like it at the moment. So I went in after the fact and painted that girl, and I freaking love it. I think she's gorgeous. Love her. Okay, this is another Maddie page, and I am not going to... I'm just not going to talk about it. This was one of the first pages. Okay, so March 2020. So that's when I started this journal. I'm pretty sure it was right around that date, because these are one of the first things I did, because I was on a live stream and everyone was like, can you paint someone wearing a mask? So I did 3 different people wearing masks, 3 different kinds of masks. And then this, I feel like, just represents politics in America, or our government, our leadership in America. They don't give this is all of us. They don't give a crap about us. You know, they just care about winning and money. And I even gave him a mask. This is my opinion about the election. You've got Trump, you've got Biden. It doesn't matter which one. They're the same. They're all bad. They're all warmongers. They all have racism. They all have weird sexual proclivities and violence towards women. They're both just puppets. It's just puppet theater. Yeah. Blank page. This is the one that I started working on. I had written some stuff on here. It wasn't bad or anything. It was just a list, but I don't need to save it. So I was starting on this one. More blank pages. We're getting close. This has been going on for 25 minutes now. I was watching a movie called Social Dilemma, or The Social Dilemma, on Netflix. It was pretty good. I recommend it. And part of something that they were saying in it was fake brittle popularity, and I think that's very true. Like when you see influencers or you see politicians who have no substance, they're just the outer shell, like, or no, how does it go? Sideways clapping, that's just fake brittle bullshit that doesn't actually serve the people or help us in any way possible. But it seems like that's all you need nowadays. You don't have to be a decent politician. You don't have to help people. You don't have to write laws that improve anything. You can just sideways clap and you'll have fake brittle popularity and people will vote for you. See what I mean? Totally radicalized. So I did this a long time ago, and then when I was watching that show, I added this. And that's as far as I've gotten. I don't know if I'll do more on this or not. We'll see. Blank. Getting close. So these were, I think I did this on a video. I don't remember. I don't think I did this one on a video, but basically same materials. Or no, actually not even the same materials. This is all gouache. Some of this is gouache because I can feel that it's gouache, but all of this is colored pencil. Just so you know, and super cute. I love that little face. Blank again. Another Maddie page. Again, I'm not going into it other than to say that both of these girls have a similar physical body type and hair color, and I think that is how Maddie sees herself, and I'm really kind of happy about that because it is similar to how she'll probably look when she gets older, which tells me she is seeing herself realistically, and yet can add a future self onto it, can add her growth onto it. So that's a good thing, I think. I'm no psychiatrist. I don't freaking know. Blank. This one was 4/27/2020 was the day democracy died, because the New York State Board of Elections determined that they were going to cancel the presidential primary, rendering elections in the United States null and void. We don't live in a democracy, people. We live in not a democracy. When you cancel primary elections just to keep a popular candidate from winning, that's fascism. And the Democrats did it, not the Republicans, the Democrats. Anyway, so that's what this page is about. This I just did for my own personal fun, and I was supposed to do more with this, but I never got back to it. This was after all heck broke loose in my personal life. This was the first time I really sat down and did any art, and it literally went from that to, again, nothing for weeks. I will tell you that emotional and mental trauma definitely stops me from creating art. No doubt about it. This is another one of those that I started and then just walked away. I absolutely want to do something with it, even if it means painting over it entirely. I'm pretty sure I did this, or at least part of this, on a stream. I can't remember for sure. Love it. Again, starting to push a little into that sort of, abstracted kind of view of things, and that's definitely, the future. more phone numbers trying to help my daughter and get her help, and it did not work out well. But yeah, this is, I really do do all of my note taking and stuff actually in my journal. I have my journal with me. So my end paper, again, that attaches the back cover to the book block, and the poor back of it, because literally the cats just destroyed the bubble wraps, and you can kind of see a little bit of the bubble wrap here. I basically just used a knife and just cut it and tore the bubble wrap off, just so that it wouldn't, because it was like it wouldn't even lay flat on the table. But I think I'm probably going to end up just taking like all of this outside stuff off so that there's none of the bubble wrap left, and redoing it. No big deal. It doesn't bother me at all. Okay, so that is it. That is like a quick flip through of where I'm at with this journal. And the next page, the next video that I do, I'll probably start it here in a few minutes, but it might not go up for a few days after this one, will be painting something on here. So, and look at how the lighting is just like gotten so weird. I don't even understand my camera anymore. Oh, you know what? I had the door open. That's why. The sunlight coming in is completely confusing it. So I will shut that door before I record the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed this little sneak peek at what's going on with this journal. I have really, really enjoyed working in it, but frankly, I can't wait until it's done. Not because I want to get rid of it or anything like that, but I've got an idea in my head for the next journal I want to make. And I'm trying to not go make it before I finish this one. Self-control or willpower. Yes, I have it. Okay, I'll see you guys around the internet.